Nestled between Savannah, Georgia and Charleston, South Carolina is a 12-mile barrier island known to be one of the most beautiful towns in South Carolina. Hilton Head Island, located in Beaufort County, is referred to as the Low Country Resort Town. Famous for its pristine beaches and championship-grade golf courses, Hilton Head, rich in history, offers a number of cultural opportunities, one being experiencing the comfort and joy of traditional Italian dining at one of the most delicious gems of the coast. Pomodori, an inspired Italian eatery in the heart of Hilton Head, is a true testament to the ingredients and simplicity of Italian cuisine. Cheers, Chef!
Cheers to you. Thank you so much.
Chef and owner Amanda Russ Cifaldi promises to nourish your body and soul with her lovingly prepared Italian dishes. Chef Amanda Russ Cifaldi.
Hey!
Sitting in Pomodori, a little Italian eatery, a gem in Hilton Head. Tell me, Pomodori, why the name Pomodori?
Tomatoes, man. I mean, who doesn't want an Italian restaurant named Tomatoes? And I thought of Pomodoro,
Right.
but more the merrier.
The more, right.
Yeah.
Why not plural?
Pluralize it, for sure.
So you, as I was told, took a leap of faith,
Yes.
turned in your 401k,
Yes.
and moved to Italy
I did.
to study and train.
Yes,
Tell me
correct.
about your entire experience in Calabria.
You know, you talk about a leap of faith, and it really was because the correspondence was solely through email with this culinary school. I had no idea that somebody would actually pick me up from the airport after I wired them my life savings. So just right off the bat, it was pretty much as faithful as it could have come. So I ended up as a sous chef for this culinary school, Italian Culinary Institute. So
Okay.
ICI, it's in Calabria. It has produced amazing chefs. But I was there with chefs from Israel, Australia, New Zealand, Russia. And
Wow.
we all just kind of came together and we wanted to learn more about the Italian cuisine. Italian cuisine is completely and utterly regional. Each region has their own food and their own importance, and to just blindly label something Italian is really doing a disservice to all of the beautiful
Absolutely.
regions that are there. Much like America with the Southeast and the Napa Valley and the Pacific Northwest.
So tell me about the Calabrian cuisine.
So Calabria, in particular, and most of the South, is primarily produce-based. A lot of farms, a lot of cheeses. You'll see goat or pork on a menu, and you'll see fish because it's on the Ionian. Calabria is known for very spicy food, so lots of chilies. And interestingly enough, when we would have our exams in school, if the chef liked it, now there were 12 of us, so 12 of the same dish, you're looking at him and you're thinking, how are you still eating these things? But if he liked it, he would go and grab a fresh chili and slice it up and put it on the dish, and that's who knew won that sort of exam for the day.
Right.
If he would add the fresh chili to it, because completely Calabrese.
So I would think that the Calabrian cuisine, that region of Italy, kind of translate perfectly down here.
Perfectly
in
to the
Hilton
south. Yep,
Head,
absolutely.
Which is, your menu is obviously inspired by both.
Very much so. So we're very lucky. The South has unbelievable farmers, and they raise beautiful animals and they raise beautiful crops. And so we're very lucky to kind of be in the same hemisphere in that the ingredients really translate very well to come over from southern Italy to southern North America. So our menu is very simple. There's not a lot of smoke and mirrors going on with it. If it sounds delicious, I think it will be. So
Most likely it will be.
hopefully.
So tell me, when did you know you wanted to become a chef? What inspired you to take this journey in life?
So I wanted to get a tattoo. And I was going to take the LSAT concurrently. So I was thinking, I don't know if these two things add up. I'm going to go the route of the tattoo. No, I was raised around food my whole life.
Right.
So my grandmother, Grandma Cappy, Celia Capizzello, she taught for a high school, or she cooked for a high school in Youngstown, Ohio in the 50s. So we're talking before they opened cans of things. She would make 2,000 meatballs a day and homemade pastas, and it really was the essence of our family culture. And so we would gather around the table. That's when we would have our best moments and our best experiences. And so it's always been a part of my life, and I've always loved entertaining. It wasn't until I moved to Charleston and I started working toward getting my law degree that I started eating all the really good food in Charleston. And I was like, man, this is so much more fun. Like, I would rather cook than do pretty much anything. And I was working in front of the house at the time, and my boss in Charleston said, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I said, I think I want to be a chef. And he said, great, you start tomorrow. Good luck.
Your grandmother was a chef.
Yep.
Now your parents also.
My parents taught Italian cooking classes out of our home in Michigan every weekend.
So it's been in your blood.
It's there.
Tell me about like your style of cooking. And
I think I've always led from my heart in everything that I've ever done. Most people who will meet me will know my life story within a 5 to 7 minute range, I would think. I'll go pretty deep pretty quickly. And that's what my food really offers. Everything on that plate is very personal to me. It's got a story, it's got a history, it's got a magic to it. And the hope is just to impart that to whomever may be enjoying it. For me, it's about the flavors, and I want to take you back to my grandmother's kitchen every time you take a bite.
Right.
I want that. And I want you, when you come here for Christmas Eve with your family every year, I want you to feel that tradition in your own right and for your own reasons. And our food is just a small part of that.
my nonna was a huge part in my chasing of my culinary journey, and I know when I cook, it's just, I feel like she's there with me.
Oh, me too.
And you're pouring your heart because that's all you've ever known
That's
and
it.
seen and watched.
That's
and what would your grandma Cappy say right now?
I mean, she'd probably say, stir the pot, and you look beautiful. You're doing great. It smells amazing in here. Where's my braided garlic?
Love it.
Yeah,
Love
I mean,
it.
she was incredible. My grandfather also was a concert pianist. So when you walked into their home, he would be playing classical music on the piano, and she would be making 6 lasagna. And it was for every sense. All of the senses came alive when you walked into that home in Youngstown, and it just always felt magical.
And I know that your motto is your food feeds, your promise to feed body and soul.
Absolutely.
Tell me about that.
Food is meant to be a communal enjoyment. It's meant to bring people together in ways that expand the human connection. That's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for every dish that I put in front of somebody where they can connect to who I am and who my staff is, and just bring that to fruition. That's the goal every day.
You appeared on the Food Network.
I did.
On a show called Bite Club.
Bite Club, yep. I was on Bite Club Savannah, yep.
And tell me about that.
It was a very interesting, long day. And pretty much what you see is what you get with those shows. It's as intense, if not 10 times more, when you're actually in it doing it. Just the competition alone, and not cooking in your kitchen, just all of the different challenges were monumental for me.
And you competed against local chefs.
I competed against one local chef, Orchid Pallmeyer, and then also 2 chefs from Savannah. And it was a nail biter, and I ended up winning it, which shocked even me.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
All right, so what are you going to make for us today? Because I am so excited.
I'm sure you're hungry too.
Sitting in traffic, I was like, oh, I cannot wait to eat.
So I was gonna make rigatoni alla norma for you today.
Perfect.
Yep, it's from my roots. It's something that my grandmother, eggplant in our family, you might as well just hand us one every time you walk through the door. So eggplant to me is a very soulful dish, and
it's as simple as
it comes.
An Italian staple can get.
It's 4 ingredients.
Okay,
so
I'm excited.
I'm gonna make it, and we're gonna eat it, and that's all I got. We'll see how it goes.
All right.
You want to make it with me?
And I would love to.
All right, right on. Let's do it.
Yes. All right, we are in the back of the kitchen
Here we
with
go.
Chef Amanda, ready to get busy,
All right.
get down to work. What are we doing? Tell us what we're doing.
We're gonna cook some pasta alla norma. So we've got some eggplant, we've got some fresh tomatoes, we've got basil, a little bit of garlic, crushed red pepper, We do have Parmigiano Reggiano this afternoon, which normally we would use ricotta salata, but we cannot find it anywhere, and I think that that's still an issue from the pandemic. So, but this will be good. It'll just make it a little nuttier and maybe a little bit less salty.
And now these are all homegrown?
All homegrown herbs, tomatoes. I've already cut some of these here. I'll let you know, I did leave a little bit of the peel on. Whenever I'm roasting a vegetable, I leave just a tiny segment. I'll stripe it because I find that it holds the character a little bit more. It gives just a little bit more toothsomeness, which I think is important when you're dealing with eggplant. So we're just gonna do a little bit of olive oil and a little bit of salt when we're roasting. Eggplant acts like a sponge, so it will pick up anything that you want it to have, any oils, any flavors that you want. I have already roasted some here, so we are going to pull out this magical bowl. Exactly, look what we did! We're gonna start with just a little bit of garlic and olive oil, only because I want to season my oil a little bit more. I've got plenty of garlic in my sauce here, but I just kind of want to, sorry darling, I just kind of want to give it a little bit of flavor into the oil. So I'm gonna do just a pinch of salt, and I'm gonna do a little bit of crushed red pepper. I kind of want to start toasting those chilies a little bit, open up their flavor, release some of their oils.
Nice.
So anytime you're working with garlic, you want to wait until, the way that I call it is you want to wait until it dances. Once it starts dancing, you know you're good to go. You don't want to go any farther because it'll start to turn bitter.
Right.
So we're dancing here, we're sizzling, we're looking very, very nice.
That's a good tip. We want dancing garlic.
We want dancing garlic, that's exactly it. We're gonna put in a little bit of white wine. We don't want too much because we don't want it to be super raw. So we're gonna getting hot in here.
Now it's really dancing.
That's it, baby, that's it. All right, so we're gonna burn off that liquid just a little bit, and I'm actually going to add our cherry tomatoes and eggplant that we've already roasted. Let's not waste, because that's a sin. We're going to just get that kind of all incorporated and together, and once that kind of heats through, I've got, at our restaurant, we make a chunky tomato sauce. So that's just olive oil, big hunks of garlic, big hunks of red onion. We sweat those down until they're nice and sweet. Once again, we don't want to brown them because that starts to turn bitter. And then we just add our crushed San Marzano tomatoes that we squeeze by hand, and we let it cook for about an hour.
Beautiful.
So it's a nice bright sauce. It's one of our 2 vegan sauces. So always showing love to the vegans around here.
So pasta alla norma is a Sicilian staple.
It is.
It's a staple in the Sicilian cuisine.
That is absolutely correct. The best that I've ever had was in Syracuse. And it was absolutely divine. And they used rigatoni. The pasta, I think, is probably not as important. What type of pasta you use, I don't think is as important. But I liked the rigatoni because you got a little bit of eggplant sliding inside of those that nice tubular pasta.
Yeah.
So I just liked the way that came together. I thought it was absolutely delicious. But you could use any pasta you want. So we're just gonna kind of let that marry, get all super sizzly and delicious. We added a little bit of pasta water. If you have your pasta water on hand, or if you've made pasta, I would reserve a cup if I were you.
Always, yeah.
Just to put a little in. The starchiness really adds a nice consistency to your sauce. It thickens it a little bit without you needing to over reduce your tomatoes. So we're doing this the old-fashioned way. Those were in there from earlier. You can tell the bloated ones. So yeah, so we're just gonna give a nice saute to that. Let that pasta really soak up all of the sauce and the flavors a little bit. We can add a little.
Absolutely amazing.
I know, right? Oh, it does. That makes me happy. And then generally what we'll do is we'll plate this. We'll finish it with a little bit of really, really good extra virgin olive oil and basil and traditionally ricotta salata. But we're going to use Parmesan today, which did break my heart, but what are you going to do? let that go for just a second.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's as simple as they come, Daniela.
Yeah.
We are not into pretentious food here.
This is exactly what the Italian cuisine is made up of.
I agree.
Simplicity.
And that's why it has stood the test of time. Although they are doing some really cool things like in Rome and in Venice with some really nice gastronomical dishes. I don't know, I'm still gonna tuck into a big plate of pasta every
you
day.
can't escape that.
No, all
There's no getting away
day.
from that. Oh, that looks amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, God.
So we're going to, this is
This is a Sunday at home.
That's it.
for
That's
me.
it. I mean, if we're lucky, this is a Sunday at home. Let's see here. Get a little bit of this on there.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. Parmigiano. We've got some fresh torn basil leaves. I always like to tear them as opposed to cutting them so they don't bruise that way. I don't know, man. Cheers.
Buon appetito.
Buon appetito.
Pasta alla norma by Chef Amanda
Woo.
at Pomodori Italian Eatery
Woo.
in the heart of Hilton Head. Buon appetito.
Buon appetito. I'm already eating.
Grazie, Chef.
Oh, prego. Grazie a te.
Oh, man, that's good.
It's pretty good.
was
I
really
feel
good.
pretty good about it. I'm all right with it.
All right, now we know why it's called Pomodori.
You know what? Tomorrow it'll
The
be
freshness
really
of these tomatoes.
it'll be really good with a poached egg on it tomorrow. If you have any leftovers. If you have leftovers. I'm not scared.
Eggplant is roasted perfectly. This is amazing. This is absolutely delicious.
I'm so glad.
Thank you, Chef.
My pleasure. Cheers, darling. Buon appetito.